So we should be live here. Let me get everything set up right. All right, what was the deal with this? Live chat. There we go, it's been a little bit. I'm so close. How's it going, Rich? I look overexposed. It's all right. Good enough? We'll give it a few minutes. I didn't put any notifications out. I just jumped on here live. I was in the shop and it's like 100 outside, so I figured, what the heck? We'll do this. How's it going, man? Appreciate both of you guys commenting on all the videos, that's for sure. Every time I touch that, it jiggles it. Sorry about that. Let me know if everything looks clear. I did not check if I was on the right router, but it should be. Yeah, horrible. Rich, I was gonna go do some things outside and man, just covered in sweat in 5 minutes. How's it going, Terry? I'm trying to remember. Bear with me a second here, guys. Let's go back to live. Saying it's kind of hard to operate on a phone. LSM from Canada, how's it going? So let's talk about a few things here. We've got at a little bit of a standstill, and I was gonna make a video about it, but just haven't got there yet. So we had the M5, the white M5. I'm gonna pull you guys off of this for a minute just so I can show you a few things here. We had the white M5 in the shop. It is back over here. Some yellowish headlights and all. And if you know, if you watched the past videos, we took this car apart a while, man, it's probably been a month and a half ago. And the parts had been in the machine shop for a month and a half, right? And so we sent the crank off, we sent the rods off, and I was gonna send the block off because, you know, we measured the block, we straight edged it, everything looked totally fine with it even before that. There's no visible scratches on the cylinders. There was no reason to believe there was ever a problem with it. And I decided not to send the block and heads off because they quoted me somewhere around $1,000 just to look at that stuff. And it's just too much. It's too crazy. I understand machine shop has a lot of responsibility to do with that. They got play employees, that's fine, but that's a lot. It's a lot. And so we decided not to do that. So the rods and pistons are there and the crankshaft is there. Now, the update on the crankshaft is that it is not turnable. As we kind of expected, I think, what was it, 17 thousandths is as big as they could turn that crank, and we needed like 27 or 26 or 27 thousandths. And it was too much, you know, I just couldn't do it. If they could have done it, I wouldn't have had them do it because it's too risky. I don't want that thing to come apart. So I'm waiting on them to check the rods, which has been a week and a half just on that. If something doesn't happen quickly, I'll just go pick it up and we'll just buy rods that I marked which ones are spun. We'll buy all that and reassemble. Now, we're still looking at a ton of money for this thing. We gotta buy the bed plate bolts, new bed plate bolts, which also include the main carriage bolts for the main bearings. We already have the ARP rod bolts. We already have the new bearings for standard size. We will need head bolts, head gaskets, PCV tubes and systems. We need to check the date on the water pump and see what the deal is, if it's been replaced. I don't remember anymore. Thermostat all goes along with it. We'll have to have a new thermostat. Anything associated we could possibly get our hands on. We'll probably do the valves and valve seals here like I did on the Porsche, on the yellow Porsche, and do all that. I'm talking and talking. I'm ignoring you guys. Sorry about that. It's going Billy Joe from Ireland. I'm just rolling back here. Uh, three 340 is cam sensors, I'm pretty sure. 3P0340 could be crank or cam sensors. Usually the crank sensor gets a blister on it and it won't start, won't run right. So anyhow, I'll finish on the story. I'll come back to reading questions. So that's all fine. There's a few other issues. So we need a crankshaft, right? A used crankshaft that's probably no better than what we have is $2,000, right? A new OEM crankshaft is $4,400, which might be an option if it comes down to it. What we know about the S85 from here on out, we know that people don't change the bearings on them in time, most people, and a lot of them get blown up because of that simple reason. So there is that. That has me skittish of buying a used engine for anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000. The last thing I do is spend all that money, get the engine here, and it's worse than what we got, which is very possible. So if it's a used crankshaft, it had to be somewhere I could actually go and look at it, because you can't. I've already been on eBay. They already take pictures in the way that you can't quite tell, and you can see, you know, the journals all look good, and then another picture you can see the journals all tore up when they're taking a picture of a different journal, right? And I think it's gonna be a problem. $2,000 is a lot to give somebody, just give away or light on fire. Pretty much what it's gonna be. So what's going on with the M5? I want to fix it right now. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Once we get the parts back in the machine shop, then we can, I guess, start buying rods for it. We're gonna need at least 4 OEM rods for that. And we'll have to look at the pistons, see, I don't know if they're press on or clips on them, what we got to do that. So it's a problem. Could be the Vanos. No, I highly doubt that. How's it going, Wally? How's it going, Greg? A lot of old, very long time watchers on here. Thank you guys for watching the vids. Another engine's $4,000 to $8,000 for just another used engine, and that's not. There is zero guarantee that's going to be good until we buy it, bring it here, put them in the sand, take the oil pan off of it, and start taking rod bolts out. You just until you do that, you don't know. And people will say it's good or it's only got this many miles on it. That doesn't mean really anything. And how's it going, Kyle? Let's say. Yeah, the new cranker rods, well, I don't know about rods, but a new crank is what we're looking at. And some non-spun rods, what we'll be looking at, more than likely. I think a new set of rods for that's about $3,500. So I'm just trying to wrangle this. And this is about, be totally brutally honest with you here, this M5 is about a white with 93,000, I think it was 93,000 miles. I can't remember. We're probably looking at $18,000-$19,000. White on black, has all the, it's like what people want, right? But we gotta be careful. We're gonna 20 grand to some parts in this thing, and not to mention how much you pay for the car and the effort to go get the car. You know, there's cost in that too. So I don't know. It also needs a little bit of paint work, as you see in the video. The body shop told me probably a little less than $1,000 to make everything look perfect again. We got a little paint on the front bumper, a little paint crackage, and on the rear bumper and the very top has some hell dents. I was fixing all that to get all that done. And how's it going, Mike? Sully Sullenberger. That was the guy that was flying the jet, right? A while back. I vaguely remember that. And remembering stuff, you guys gotta understand, we're running basically 3 channels, remotely 4 channels from here. So like every second of my time's on this. So I can't remember your name. If I don't remember if your name's Tom, well, there's 15 different Toms. I can't remember who's who unless I've talked to you before and I go back and read the message and I can see what I was saying before. Other than that, somebody asked about the gas prices. Gas is $5.09 here for 87 octane. Well, where I got it the other day in the Sequoia. No, I take that back. 519 for super unleaded. That was the G-Wagon. The G-Wagon. The G-Wagon is actually for sale right now. It's kind of falling on crickets. When I post that thing, I don't think anybody wants to spend pretty much $80,000 right now on that. But we'll keep posting it. We'll keep doing it. If you don't know, the G-Wagon gets about 8 miles a gallon. That's being kind of conservative with the numbers. And so we drove it the other day, and we were at a little over between a quarter and a half a tank, and it was $110 to fill it up. And then it's just like, you know how it is, drives like it has a hole in the tank. It gets that kind of fuel mileage, right? The Pinenbergs, thank you very much, man, too, for subscribing for the members thing. We have not done anything with the members section of it for a while, other than if somebody comments and they have a little thing by them. We always try to comment and help them with whatever they want. That's pretty much the biggest benefit of this channel. We have not posted for a few days. I have a video in the editor right now that I'll post today, using detailer or 303 graphene detailer on the G-Wagon, and it's pretty shiny, right? We're trying to find a product so we can actually clean cars and not have to wipe them off 3 or 4 times. I'm getting sick of that, right? Before we're using the Cmx, what the hell is it called? Grab it real quick. So we were using this, the Cmx Ceramic Coating, and it works great if your car is white. But we have a white car now, but we've been trying to clean a black one. So we go through a whole procedure. We'll probably make a video of that washing procedures too. We have a garden spare, simple green. We do a non-touch cleaning on this stuff, because if you touch a black car with the washman, it's gonna scratch it. And anyhow, make a long story short, that stuff we'd put it on there, hand buff it off, let it sit 15-20 minutes. It'll get kind of like streaky. You wipe it off again, and you leave it, come back an hour or 2 later, you have to wipe it off again. And we're having to wash this thing every time we drive it because it's black and it's shaped like a box, and it's the way it is, right? So we went over to this graphene nano stuff from 303. So that'll be the video for today, posted on that. You can see our findings on that. If you have any car at all, check out that video. We're trying to find stuff, not only that lasts forever, we don't really care about last forever. Well, something you can like wipe your car off with and not spend 3 days doing it, right? Who can afford gas anymore? I tell you what, it's getting pretty crazy. There's a wasp over here. Hope I don't get stung. How much are you selling the G-Wagon for? I just relisted it. Trying to kick that wasp. I just relisted it for $76,000 doll hairs. That's a lot of doll hairs. This has a 585 horsepower twin turbo V8 with dual clutch. So wildly rowdy for sure. Smack that wasp, right? Okay, so let me see here. How much? Let me see. E39 525 is first car video. So, yeah, those cars. Here's the thing with those. They're not problematic. They're very problematic, but they don't cost a lot to fix. And if you kind of do all the maintenance at once, you keep going, on to have a nice car. And prices are going up right now. It used to be a year ago, you could buy everything to maintain that car. Like you could do everything on that car for about $600 engine wise. All the hoses, all the Vanel stuff, CCV, a brand new valve cover, coil packs, all the coolant related stuff, water pump, thermostat, and whatever else, all throttle body boots, things like that. And service transmission is about $600. Now it's probably closer to $800. But now the price of the cars have gone up. However, it looks like they went up, but if you, as we proved in the past, 6, 7 cars I sold, if you try to sell something at a price that looks like it's bringing, it'll never actually bring that price. It's a false market. Um, I would say everything I've sold has probably been 30% less than what our best selling them for, because that's the only way stuff sells. Pickup E46 325 CI. What should I expect roughly to get for the mile per gallon? Depends on the state of things. If you do the maintenance on it, you do the vane seals, you have a decent air filter, the right spark plugs, there's no vacuum leaks. I would say anywhere from 25 to 29, somewhere in there. Depends on how you drive it. Depends on what the weather is. Yeah, that's how you have to do it, man. Sometimes you have to bring your phone or iPad or computer to the car. And if you're doing engine timing or something like that, you have to follow it step by step. There's no negotiating that. I do that. If I haven't done a job in a while, I never go through and think, oh, well, I remember how to do it. Because chances are, if you miss the tiniest little thing, this thing's going to go wrong. And how we'll do it is when we're building an engine, we're putting it together, we'll double, triple, quadruple check all the torque specs for everything. If you have any question, the best way to do it while you're taking something apart is take pictures of where all the hoses go. That way, when you're putting it back together, you may think but a month or 2 or 3 may go by and you're not going to remember. So if you fail to take pictures of something as you're doing it, you have to go to Google. You have to look through Google Images, try to find what you need. And we've all been there. And you have to do that. That's the Achilles heel of most shops. Will go in there, they have no internet. The boss doesn't allow them to use the internet. They're trying to use some kind of tech, I forgot what it's called, tech something or another. That's not always good enough. And a lot of times when that stuff, tech stream, when that stuff comes out, there's updates. What you're doing may not be the factory way to do stuff. It may be update for that. You have to change what's going on. And so it's not only just reading a manual, it's like you have to look, what's the latest fix for this? What's the latest and greatest deal? There's different parts come out all the time for things. Let me see. Yeah, so like right now, I would say, what's the best thing to buy if you want to sell? I don't know. Here's the thing. When this white car is done, we'll even be able to sell it. Is the economy got to be so far in the gutter, I'll never be able to sell this? Maybe. And that was another reason for selling the G-Wagon. The G-Wagon doesn't really serve a purpose. It's like wearing a Rolex. There's no real purpose to have that. It doesn't handle well, it doesn't drive well, but it's ultra radical, and you have to be into that kind of stuff. Now, when I bought it, the prices had not gone up yet on them. This is still the cheapest one, the G63 in the country. So I bought it right. But as I'm finding out here, is to lower the price more and more, and all we can ever get is, well, my Bosnian friends called gypsies trying to offer me cash for it, which has happened 3 times in the last week. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think somebody's going to show up with $80,000 in cash. You don't really want them at your house, and you want to be very cautious of that money. Like you have to do at the bank. And once you start saying bank, they don't want nothing to do with it. And I'm not a counterfeit specialist, so I don't know what I'm looking at, right? I could buy one of those little pens and mark it, but I think it needs to go through the bank's hands at least to count that much money. It's too much. 10, 15 grand, yeah, it's no problem. We can count that out. It's no problem at all. 80 grand, it's too much, right? I don't know if that was all in ones they're going to bring or what, but that's just a whole shady operation there. Scanners recommend for the BMW. I have 03 M3 with an intermittent miss. If you just want the most basic scanner ever and you only want to spend 40 or 50 bucks, go buy the Creator C310. That's BMW only. You cannot scan any other car with that besides BMW Mini. We have a bunch of scanners we use. BMW Ista is the best. BMW Ista is pretty much impossible to buy unless you have a pirated version. We do. How long will my shady version last? It's very debatable. Maybe a few more months, maybe not. Then we'll also be looking. We have a car here, one car, the M5, that must have Ista. Must have Ista. There is no, maybe some $2,000 Altel may do what we need to do, but we need to reset it down. If we lost you guys or not, you guys still there? Still counting, hopefully. Internet glitched out. But yeah, internet does that here a lot with AT. We have AT&T and Starlink, and Starlink's a little bit slow. AT&T is off and on, or not AT&T. That's even worse. T-Mobile, our wireless router is off and on, off and on, off and on, but it's fast, so you use that to upload with. Starlink, we have high hopes for Starlink to get a little better. We can upload with that. It is way faster than AT&T, but we try to use the fastest one here. So you guys probably didn't realize, I didn't say anything about it. Philip's on vacation for a couple weeks, and so he won't be here. So it's gonna be me and Amanda. We're still trying to do cooking videos every week. If you don't know, we've been posting a lot on Nathan's MRE. That is my second channel. We do MRE reviews and now cooking videos. We're posting on there 4 days a week, and that's about to kill us all, to be honest with you. That's a lot of video, a lot of editing. So the last 2 weeks, we were really, really hitting it hard. That's why I haven't posted much on this channel. Trying to make as many videos as we can for Philip left, because the new camera we have is not an arm's length camera. I cannot hold it. It's tripod only or gimbal. And so we may shoot some videos with that. The video I shot yesterday on the phone with the 303, I could tell the quality's not there. So I'm gonna try to use the big camera from here on out. It is complex using a camera like that with one person. And Amanda is probably not strong enough to even hold the gimbal up. She's probably watching this shaking her head. But it's very heavy. It's like 9 pounds, the gimbal, the camera, and everything to go with it. What did that say? Please buy it. Somebody just tell me this the other day. I need to buy a Lotus. I'm totally into Lotus Exeges and Elises, but the price of that stuff is just going through the roof. Some people are scared of those, although some of those cars have the Toyota engine in them. But if you run over a raccoon, if you hit something on the road, it's going to total that car. That's a clamshell front and rear, and that's also aluminum frame, like aluminum box. So we got to be careful driving stuff like that around here because we're in the country. There's a lot of deer and things like that. Let me see here. Shifting rough and late shifting times before that. Oh, E6530 went to limp mode. Transmission fault. You need to change the fluid. If you're already getting faults, you need to change the fluid, the filter, the filter's made in the pan on that one, and the mechatronic sleeves. A lot of times what we see with those ZF boxes, with the 6 HP, if you stay on the fluid changes, the mechatronic sleeves usually never have a problem. And if you let it go too long, you may need solenoids also, and which is the price of another transmission. So if you got to do the solenoids, I don't know, that's a lot of money, and you can't buy Chinese ones, so you got to buy real ones, and that's very difficult. Let me see here. So what kind of videos do you guys want to see coming up? Like coming up, or plan on posting on the Porsche channel a little bit more. This channel, I'm trying to figure out what, like, we're waiting on parts, right? So the E46, we'll talk about that just for a second here. The E46, we engined out of that car, did all that stuff, and pulled it back in the shop. Like, everything was good until it wasn't. Put everything together. I bought the URO hard pipes for the intake, and they leaked. They didn't fit very good, and they leaked. Okay, so I went and bought the OEM BMW hard pipes, put it all back together, and something's still dripping coolant out of the intake. And it looks like it's where it goes into the head. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. We'll probably try to get there this week and get that sorted out. We need to put the interior back in that car. That car needs tires. That's about it. It really doesn't have that. We probably need to do that, liquidate that car before it has to sit out in the hot sun all summer. Let me see here. Your thoughts on Alpinas? I mean, my thoughts on those are they're expensive to buy. They're kind of overly expensive for what it is. As what's his name on M539 Restorations found out, they're very expensive to fix. We have some complex cars already, and the white M5 and the Porsche that are expensive to fix and hard to find parts for. I'm not really too big on jumping into something else like that. And if you only fix that to sell it, let's be honest here. I don't care about keeping an Alpina to drive. I just don't care about that, right? It's not something I want. So I'll be into it to buy it, make videos on it, fix it, and sell it. When you go to sell something like that, it's a very tiny audience that wants that. Because in most people's minds, they'll just, go buy a E65, E66, and put the Alpina wheels or some Alpina lookalike wheels on it and just drive that for a 16th of the price. What do you choose, 2016 428 or 2017 430i? I don't know. I haven't had time to even look at that kind of stuff, to be totally honest with you. What channels do I watch? So a lot of other YouTubers get angry at me because I don't have time to watch their channel because I don't have that much free time really at all. Lately, what channels have I watched in the last 2 weeks? No BMW channels. I haven't watched anybody's stuff. We're watching the Townsends for food stuff. We're watching Vincenzo's Plate for food stuff. We're all about the food videos. I don't watch any MRE guys' videos anymore. I just don't have time. There's so few people doing that anymore also. What channels have I watched in the past? Probably the last BMW channel I watched episode was probably N539. I didn't make it through the whole episode. It's an hour long. I could not sit there that long. Nothing against him. I just didn't have that much time to sit there. So I watched about halfway through and never got to finish. I think it's when he's taking apart the Alpina engine and he figured out it was just an N62 short block with different pistons in it. And that's about the last thing I've seen of that. I don't follow anybody anymore. I have no idea what anybody's posting. A lot of that depends on what my phone is logged into or what channel the computer is logged into at the time. And if it's logged into the MRA channel like it has been, I don't see anybody posting anything in my subscription feed with BMW stuff whatsoever. A lot of people ask you, do I know the guy that runs N539 Restorations? What's his name? Seren or something? I don't remember. I don't know him personally at all. If I comment, he'll like my stuff. And that's as far as I know. He's in Germany. So whenever you're in a European country, a lot of times the algorithm picks up a lot differently. We saw that with somebody else that was helping there for a while. And you tend to get a lot more views, but a lot less revenue when you see channels like that. He started out only doing restorations, only. And I think what he was doing or is doing, he's not posting for a while, but he's getting the whole video done or the whole car back together before he posts a video of that car. We could definitely do that here, but we're maxing out a 2 terabyte hard drive every day and a half. And so we can't really hold that, like a lot of footage for a long time. And we have to wipe the hard drive. And that's been another issue. It's just when we're shooting a 4K at 60 at 10-bit, that takes an insane amount of storage. It's hard to transfer the files. We have probably, we have the fastest Mac Mini you could buy right now. There is computers out slightly faster now that Mac has. We probably will have to go to that. I forgot what it's called. It's like a bigger thing like that. And that's the deal. Just so what we have to do here, we have to take the video. Me or Philip's got, usually Philip edits it. Depends on how fancy you want to get with it. Some of the food videos do get a little fancier with the editing. Let's say he spends an hour editing the video, right? And then you got to export it out of Final Cut. Final Cut's a bottleneck going from Final Cut to the computer. So it's slow. It takes probably 45 minutes to transfer that at that point in time. At that point in time, the video is 100 gigs. It could be way more than 100 gigs. It could be 150 gigs, depends on the length of it. And once it's on the computer or onto the hard drive out of Final Cut after edited, then we got to put it through Handbrake. Handbrake takes about an hour to condense at that. It'll take it from like 100 gigs down to 3 or 4 gigs, and then we're ready for upload. But when you upload in a full 4K, even though it's only 3 or 4 gigs, it still takes a lot longer. So it's probably another 45 minutes to upload at with really high internet, really high speed internet. And what we found out in the past, the difference from 4K at 30 to 4K at 60 is massive. If you're gonna shoot in 4K at 30, my thoughts, you might as well shoot at 1080 at 60. You can't tell the difference. But the 60 frames, the 30 frames, visually the 60 frames looks a lot smoother. It's not jittery. It's not weird. Unfortunately, most of you guys probably don't have internet fast enough to play a video at 4K at 60 at 10-bit. So if you're watching my videos, go over to the side, toggle on your phone or whatever you're watching it on, up to 4K at 60. It's probably going to default to 1080p, maybe 720p. You're only getting a quarter of the quality what's actually going on here. We shoot on the phone, it's still 4K at 60, but it's in a real tiny format. Wrist has got 1 gig up and down. Yep, but if you speed test that, it's never that. It's always up and down. It's riding a wave. Because I've been on that internet in St. Louis before. Depends on who's on it too, what time of day it is. It could be very slow. Pixel repair on BMW clusters. I'm trying to think. Somebody just asked me about that not long ago. But we don't have anything this minute that needs that. Our E60 is good. We sold the last E39 a while back. Let me see here. 993 or 964. 993s are really, really a hot ticket right now. Is me and Dean still working together? No, we have not been for almost a year at all. Let me see here. We have a project car sitting right next to me. But we're locked up at the, you probably weren't here when we were talking about this. We're locked up at the machine shop with the crankshaft. We can't do anything. We're sitting still, right? And then let me see here. What else I was going to talk about? We already talked about gas stuff. Let's talk about something else. What the heck was it? Somebody's asking about the Kami earlier. I'll be very careful what I say because YouTube will smack me down for this. Yeah, the Kami is not well. We kind of watch the markets here and there. And I seen Friday was down 880 points. What had happened, if you guys follow this at all, the reports come back for the state of the economy. So inflation, this and that, is way worse than anybody ever thought. I can't say anything else. YouTube will slap me off of this website totally. So we gotta leave it at there as far as that goes. It's a situation. Very frustrating for everybody because it doesn't have to be this way. And now it is this way, and it's a bad problem. A lot of people ask me, what do I think you should do? Here's the thing. Back in 2008, when it crashed back then, for the same type deal it's crashing now, everybody back then thought, well, you know, I got some money put back. We should be good. There should be no problem. Here's the deal. When the economy crashes like that, it don't crash for a month or two. It crashes for years. And last time was about 2.5 years. So unless you're ahead 2.5 or 3 or 4 years of income, which nobody is, let's be honest with you, you're not going to make it through okay. Now, the only thing you can do to brace for that is if you have a economy-proof job, which nobody's real sure exactly what that is, but it probably does exist to some degree, you should be okay. But you see right now everybody on Facebook and all the car pages on Facebook where people sell stuff, exotic cars for sale, things like that. All the Porsche guys, all the BMW guys, everybody's unloading stuff right now. Everybody's selling everything, every expensive car they have. And what's happened right now, they still want the big money for it. So as it's only been a couple weeks as everybody's been dumping stuff on it. After that goes along for a little bit longer, they're not going to get the price. They're going to start marking the price down and down and down and down and down and down. Obviously, if you have a whole giant pile of money laying around, once everything falls down, it starts to rise, it's time to buy. It's also the time to buy stocks too. But what's the bottom? Right now is not the bottom. It looks like the bottom, but it's not. We all know that. Then you got to be careful too. You go buying a bunch of stuff like that with money you may need to live on, and it's all tied up in stocks, then you got another problem, right? It's just a double-edged sword, triple-edged sword. And then if you do finally make some money off your stocks or anything, now Uncle Sam wants more cut of that than they ever have, and that's a problem. All right. What's happened? A lot of guys asking us too on the channel. What's happened with YouTube revenue since all this started happening? YouTube revenue in January fell about half of what it should be with the same views. It's never come up. We're still at half right now after almost 5 months later. And so, you know, I was very fortunate. I was so high on revenue that everything's still good. Now, if it falls in half again, you know, because we have employees too. We have Philip and Amanda both work here full time. And just stuff like health, all kinds of crap, health insurance, car insurance, all that stuff's up. You guys know how it is. You go buy groceries and you walk out with one bag of groceries, $100, stuff like that. And we're paying 2 and 3 times the price for stuff. It is heavily in the back of my mind, as it should be all you guys too. But yeah, I think about that every day for sure. And it's already to the point now where I can't go buy the stuff I want to buy. I can't do what I want to do because I'm protecting Amanda and Philip, you know, their income. And how long will that last? I don't know. You know, another good hard fall that might chop this channel off at its legs. And it's not only me, it's other big channels that have 15 or 20 employees. What are they doing? I don't know. And the way it operates is once YouTube, pretty much once the ads slow down, YouTube then toggles off your views. They don't advertise, they don't promote your videos. That stops. And then all those ads go to the big channels, the big channels, the 10 million subscribers. And all that revenue goes to those guys, right? And that's what's happened. As soon as revenue didn't come back up in January and February, then we see our views went almost in half because they're not promoting. And you go to look at analytics and they're promoting 11%, suggesting an 11% instead of 90% or 80% or even 50%. And we watched it happen not only on this channel, but across all my channels all exactly at the same time. But we have no control over that. We have zero control. Yeah. And paper and metals, that's what the deal is. What caused the inflation? What exactly caused the inflation? Oh man, YouTube's just salivating, hovering over the delete button for my channel. What caused inflation? Well, gotta watch what I say. We'll go to one side of it. Handing out all the stimulus money. all the stimulus money over and over and over again and giving millions, tens of hundreds of millions of dollars away to other countries. That's what jump started it. What was the very first thing that hit it the hardest was gas prices. That's the spark. All the giving checks out, that was the gasoline on the fire. Let's see here. Speedometer going in and out. I'm not sure on that one, man. Depends on what it's on. Let me see here. We got 60 people in. I'm trying to think of what else we need to talk about. Anything else you guys want to hear about before we get off of here? Did you complete your really nice area or finish? No, we didn't actually. We stopped all construction here. We have not built anything else since 2019. 2019 is when we put the big shop up. We formed up our concrete to go on. That the price of lumber went so crazy high and the price of everything, we just put the brakes on all of it. The ceiling is not done in this place. You can see it's all ripply up on this side. And we have 2x4s running across to hold everything in. Just to buy the 9 2x4s I need is $450 right now for 9 16-footers. And so we just put the brakes on it, period. I just do not want to spend 8 times the price, did the same thing as before. If something doesn't change, we'll just have to do it. But that stopped production on my house building. We're planning to build a adjoining lean-to shop off of this one. That stopped all that. Just 8, 9, 10 times the price of what it once was. We plan on selling things like the G-Wagon. Yeah, the G-Wagon is for sale right now. It's a little bit too late to sell this, to be honest with you. It's at the very edge of it, of being too late. The G-Wagon doesn't really cost, if I don't drive it, it doesn't really cost anything to have it here. Until you drive it, you gotta put gas in it. That's horrible. But one thing it does hinder on here is space, right? So it is taking up a spot in the shop. So do we really need that vehicle? No. But that was a good tax write-off. I'll tell you that much. It did work well for that. For intended purposes, it worked very well. As other YouTubers do, as every other person that buys stuff like this does, that's a write-off. You couldn't make a living on YouTube? Strippers the next thing I'm going for, man. Get some old ladies to give me some dollar bills. No, joking though. Hopefully it never gets to that. One day it will. When everybody's wanting me to invest earlier this year, good thing I did not, because that'd have been a losing situation right now. Yeah, that's another thing too. Demon Slayer is just talking about. Oh, somebody was rub-a-dub. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys watching. So anyhow, getting parts is the next thing. You might see stuff for sale. You might buy stuff for sale, but there's a lot of issues with getting stuff. Here lately, it's not been too bad, but a lot of times it's hard to get people to ship stuff out. It's hard to get whatever UPS to bring it here on time. Our UPS guide is really good, but a lot of stuff's out of his hands, right? He's only the local delivery guy. And if it's not on his truck when it comes here and it says it should be, it's just not. It's at the hub or somewhere else. Just the way it is. We have a few things like that, but not bad. What's the next car project? I mean, we will get to the point we will have to buy another car. Can't just sit around and do nothing, right? So what is the best thing to buy? We're gonna have to buy something lower value, and I hate that. I don't like doing that anymore because I've done so much E46 and E39 stuff. It's easy. I could literally do it with my eyes closed now. And like when we had the problem with the coolant leaks on the E46, I was kind of like, man, what the hell? We never had this before, ever. Kind of makes me wonder, is not something wrong with that engine, to be honest with you. Yeah, we were just talking about the E30s, E39 and E36 stuff. Just second nature anymore. It's so easy for me because I've done so much of it. 2008 328i, the valve. Jesus. The valve cover, ever since, it has a rough idle, but I know then it runs fine. Make sure the ignition coils are plugged in. Probably not. As you know, those coil packs, if they're a tiny bit, the plug-in's not pushing all the way, it'll misfire. Or you have a bad coil pack, could be a lot of stuff going to it. Let's see here. You have a leaking gear selector on your E46 GM training, so the bushing that goes in, you can replace the bushing. It's not too difficult to do. You could buy just that bushing without taking the transmission out. What's my dream car? I don't know. I don't even know anymore, right? If everything, I'll put it like this. If the economy was not in death flails, what would I buy next? It was always in the books to sell the G-Wagon one day, no matter what. I would say if the economy was not tanking, looking heavily at Rolls Royce stuff, possibly Lamborghini would be the next step, or AMG GTS, something of that arrangement. But hell no. What was just recently in the books to do was a brand new Toyota Tundra, Capstone Edition. But there again, you know, that's a $76,000 truck. Do we really need a $76,000 truck right now? No, we don't. We saw the Sequoia, it works totally fine. That allowed me to get cars further away without having to worry, but it's also a huge price to pay for that. Let me see. By selling merchandise in the future, I just don't have time. I really don't have time to do anything. I don't think our channel is big enough anymore to do that. The problem with running the car channel is people sell cars. They'll watch you as long as they have a car. Once they sell the car, they don't watch no more. So a lot of our subscribers are very old subscribers. As you know, when we post a video, we might get anywhere from 2,000 to 7,000 views on a video, and that's it. Without any promotion from YouTube, you're never going to have a video take off. We have not had a video take off and since the big lottery video, to be honest. That's what I was going to talk about too. So I've not posted any lotto videos on here. I've done that at the request of a lot of people that watch the car videos. If you don't know, about 2 years ago, I posted a string of lotto videos. And that's what bought the G-Wagon. That's what bought a lot of the stuff here that we're able to do in the past. The Porsche, the M5s, all that kind of stuff. So just the one video gained almost 22,000 subscribers of lotto people. And we had a series of about 7 or 10 videos. We probably got about, I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah, I would say 30,000 subscribers that are here for lotto. I've not posted anymore. We very well may have to start doing that once a week. I went out of my way to start a new lottery channel to not have to post on this channel, to not interfere. And something very weird happened when I did that. It's like YouTube just stopped all promotions of any other video besides lotto on this channel. And then they don't want to promote that. It's very odd. We've disrupted the algorithm severely with those videos. And that really did hinder bringing in new BMW guys to watch the videos. It really did. The upside of that is your average BMW video makes the CPM, which is cost per million, which is how much you make per 1,000 videos. Yeah, CPM and RPM. CPM on a BMW video is about 13 to, let's say, high $18 per 1,000 views. The RPM on that would actually get in my pocket. It's probably about, on average, $8-9 per 1,000 views. YouTube keeps for us. Sweet, huh? And the CPM and RPM on a lotto video, $43, $44 versus $15 or $18. And the RPM, what I get to keep, is like 39. It's an insane amount more money for the same views. But we're to the point. I don't care about scratching lottery tickets. I never did. I just do it just for the video. It's like, okay, we lost. Well, of course. And it's got to the point where I was saying before we did the video, it's like, don't ever buy these if you don't want to lose money, because you will 100% lose money. And that's how it ended up. I mean, every time, very rare we'd ever win money, but it never mattered if you won money for a lottery video. It didn't matter at all. It's all what title you put on, what keywords you put on it. It didn't matter what you did in the video. If you get YouTube to put your video out there, people to watch, they'll all watch it all the time. It's very bizarre. But I think the BMW community is so saturated with people doing this because everybody's doing BMW videos. There's probably 200 channels out there right now doing BMW videos, whether they got 1 subscriber or a couple 100,000 subscribers. And it's all been done 10 times over. So anything I make here on any car, it's been done 10 times by everybody else, 20 times, 30 times. So there's not really anything new I could do on a model of a car that's not been done over and over and over and over. And eventually it's just like, man, we posted some videos a couple weeks ago. It's like, we've already done these. They did well then. You post them now, they don't do well at all. Everybody's already done them. Everybody's already seen them. And that's the YouTube situation. It's a weird deal. The other thing is to do talking. I hate doing talking videos anymore. I never liked doing that, but they'll get more views. A Copart video, right? Make Copart videos, and they get 150,000 views, and I don't know, the last one a month or something stupid. Let me see here. Yeah, let me be clear on the lottery videos. I didn't buy all these cars from revenue from lottery videos, or from winning on the lottery tickets, doing lottery videos. That came from revenue, not winning on the tickets. I thought about doing a video coming up, breaking down my string of lotto videos and how much we spent to do those and how much all those videos actually made, just to further extend why you guys should not buy lottery tickets. That's pretty much the sum of it. We may do that. That'll appease a lot of the lottery subscribers, and you guys may be interested in that because I'm showing what nobody else will show, right? And I've already made a video in the past about how much I made on lottery videos by going through my revenue on camera, but it's been about a year or so ago. I don't like doing that because people can't handle that kind of stuff very well. Then you start getting all these emails. Oh, my uncle's cousin's nephew is dying, and can you please send me $1,000? And that'll start heavy. All the beggars start coming in real bad. And let me see here. The Alexa stuff. Yeah, if I did Alexa stuff on the BMW channel, nobody would watch it. I have to post it on the Porsche channel that has a lot of total subscribers on it. More driving, but yeah, we actually did buy the GoPro 360 cam, GoPro Max, I believe it's called. And we've only used it twice. And it's like other stuff you buy. It seems like a great buy. Then you buy it and you make a video too with it, and it's like, okay, that was cool. Now what? Let me see here. Yeah, and then another thing too is, I thought moving out of Missouri to, here's the thing, Vincent. Right now, I don't have to worry about people stealing my stuff. I don't have to worry about people breaking in. I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. Yes, it costs more to live here because you have to drive so far to get groceries or anything from the store. Yes, it's annoying because you forget one thing, you're making something to eat. You can't just go get it. But to not have people messing with your stuff all the time is a big thing. Or people driving by. We've had that before too, people coming here. And we've actually had to pull back out my P.O. box off of the videos because of death threats and all that kind of crap rolling in. 2 different people. One guy was real ate up with it. And Hell, they sent me pictures of my tombstone with a similar name on it. It's very bizarre. And calling my mom's house and stuff, calling relatives, um, all kinds of threats from that dude, and all of a sudden he's just gone. So either, like I was telling my sister, I said, well, guys like that usually go totally crazy, or they get picked up, or they stalked the wrong person, and that was the end of that, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure which of that was, but that's a problem. The mental health problem in today's world is explosive. I'll put it that way. Let me see here. One channel will mix it up. The problem is that's not the way the algorithm works on YouTube. When I made the Porsche channel, a lot of you guys were yelling at me, let's put it all on the same channel. You can't really do that. It doesn't really work that way. Right now, to win $1,000 would be good. That's only one tank of gas. What are you talking about? Maybe two. Yeah. So originally, Stami, I talked to you before about this in the comments about getting a Lexus LX 570. That was the original thing. What's so appealing about the Tundra Capstone is the hybrid. So it's gas motor with electric assist, and that gets what, 23 miles a gallon. And so if we could run empty a place to get 23 miles a gallon versus 12, maybe that might be something to it. But the SUVs are better for towing because you can put stuff inside and close it and lock it. Used to live in LA. Yep. I hear that's another problem too. You watch channels like DGE, Daily Driven Exotics. Those guys are taking out their watches before they leave to go on a drive to film, taking out their jewelry and locking it in a safe before they even leave to go. Because they have to get anywhere close to LA. The thieves target supercars, you target nice cars, where they pull you over or follow you home and rob you. I mean, that's whatever it is. It's the same here. You know, the town next to us is 40 minutes away. When I was at the chiropractor's office, I told her a while back, I said, you know, we talked about moving here. We know that town's had a lot of issues in the past. It's about 30,000 people. I don't know. I'm not sure how many. 40,000 maybe. And I asked her, I said, what's the odds of if I moved here, how long do you think it'd be for I had a problem with somebody following me home and rob me? She says days driving that or that Porsche or something like that. And, you know, and just talking to people, you know, we have people moving to my little town here from those towns because they want to go away from that. And we were talking to the new neighbor the other day, and he came from that town, and he said that when you go to the ATM, it's not uncommon people try to rob you at the ATM. It's not uncommon for people to get mugged or robbed coming out of the store. And so we try to go in the morning hours, you know, when that's not going on, hopefully. But it's always on the back of your mind, for sure. Is anywhere? Yeah, here is safe. That's the thing. Here is, for the most part, here is safe. That's why we kind of put the brakes on stuff on buying a house somewhere else. Let me see here. Oh man, the Hellcat boy. I tell you what, let me tell you a story. And you guys are gonna, I talk to you guys like you're my friends, because you are. Most of you are. A couple rotten apples in the group, but most everybody's a good friend of the channel. A lot of guys on here have been watching for a long time. We took, what did we take back here? We took, when we sold the 1600, the old 68 1600, we dropped that car off at Chattanooga. That was part of the deal of the guy buying it, is that we'd deliver it. Chattanooga is probably, I don't remember how long it was, 6 hours away, 5.5 hours away, something like that. I don't know what the hell the deal is. When you drive through Nashville, which is the hood, every car is a Hellcat or a Dodge of some arrangement. Like it's like you sit there and just like Hellcat, 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 and then you have the Chargers with the Hellcat stickers on them, look like the Challengers, the on and on and on and on and on and on. I never knew that was even a thing. Shows how much I know. I never noticed it to that extreme before. But you get in the South, you get to Birmingham, you get to places like that, you get to Little Rock. That's what every person there drives. They're all beat up, they're all run down. That's like the car or the hood. I mean, I don't know, whatever you're into, I guess. I don't see the appeal to it, but I guess they're cheap. You know, you could buy a Charger that's not a Hellcat or not a V8 probably for damn near free. So I guess maybe that's the appeal. I don't know. That was a very interesting thing. I'll probably get banned for saying that. Yep. Old man story time from Uncle Nathan. There we go. Slow car, yeah, we talked about recession earlier. Yeah, the problem is I don't have a handgun. We usually bring some kind of over exorbitant rifle with us when we have to transport money to go buy a car. But there you go. You can't, some states are not okay with you bringing that stuff in other states. Missouri kind of doesn't care at all. You can do pretty much whatever you want here, but you know, if we had to go to Illinois or anything, we can't bring nothing with us. Hell no, you'd be in prison. Call it the gun in Illinois, especially a rifle of any arrangement. That's shotgun only, and that's no gun only up by Chicago. So there it is. But yeah, that's all for that before we get banned off here forever. I appreciate about 60 people watching this pretty much all the way through. And ain't hired Bessies. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys have the same mindset I do on that kind of stuff as far as the economy goes, how things go, but some don't. So I try to appease everybody, which is impossible. Andy, thank you very much. Let me see here. New cars, already discussed that earlier in the video. Some of you guys just hopped on to go watch it, roll back and watch it. Yeah, we'll put some more E46 up very soon, very, very soon. Like maybe Tuesday, I think. If you guys get a chance, go over watch Nathan's MRE. Me and Amanda's over there 4 days a week. That's a lot of footage over there. It's all full 4K stuff. We're making a lot of military food from the First World War, Second World War, Civil War, and before, and tons of very interesting stuff like that. So if you're into that, come over, check it out for sure. Either T7 series, I've not had one of those. Those are getting pretty old now. But anyhow, all right, guys, I'll hop off of here. Thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for tonight's graphene nano coating video. Probably have it out here in about an hour. So that's it. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you very much, Rich. I just seen that. And everybody have a good day.